Money Talks is brought to you by the Heritage Family Credit Union. Your community, your credit union.
Over the past few weeks in Money Talks, we've introduced you to a nonprofit, Vermont Works for Women, and the Center for Financial Literacy at Champlain College. Both are working on helping address the lack of personal finance education and information in the state of Vermont. Today, one of the high schools helping provide data to the center is here to talk with us about why it's instituting the program.
What we're doing here is it's a graduation requirement. So all students, in order to graduate from Fairhaven Union High School, must successfully pass financial literacy. What we've done here is incorporate it as part of not just a class, but as part of our math department, as part of our other areas. We do it in kind of an industrial arts way when we sell things. We also make sure that there's other projects with our annex. Students have done business reports, and they've had to do and show high financial literacy. We were thrilled, I was thrilled to be able to go to Montpelier this year and receive a financial literacy award, part of the coalition, the Jumpstart Coalition. So we have 2 teachers right now that are doing it as part of their everyday curriculum. We have Kim Ransom, Melinda Potvin, and we're really thrilled at the number of students that are incorporating it as part of their everyday life here.
Inside the classrooms at Fairhaven Union High School, finance is now a mandatory graduation requirement for the class of 2018.
The part that I think is really probably all important is that this is something that's usable. And I think we need to make sure that skills today are more usable than in the past, where we could kind of offset that with work and make sure that they could go to the farm or they could have GE, and at least in these areas, those are the major employers. Now the occupations happen to be so diverse, and the independent learner is the most valued. And if you don't have some high level of financial awareness, there's almost no way to become successful. And we all know that just the first thing that hits you when you leave school is, what are my bills and how do I become independent? How do I get an apartment? How do I pay for a car? And they're doing all that here.
The 2 teachers both attended Champlain College's summer intensive graduate course on financial literacy. They're now bringing back their knowledge and making the information accessible to students. Over the past couple of years, students have opted into taking the course, but it wasn't at that time a requirement.
At the very beginning of the class, we actually start with a student portfolio, and we work from them creating their resume to letter application and all those things that combine into a portfolio. And now we actually do it digitally, so those students can always get to that and have that when they leave high school. And then we actually bring in all the financial aspects of it. So we do from budgeting to planning to buying a car to credit cards to consumer debt. And many times parents even comes to parents' night and they're like, why don't you create a class for us? Because they're so important for them to get that right step in that right direction. We even discovered that even some of our honor students don't take that class. So we're going to create an accelerated program for those students as well.
The students who have taken part say they're learning a lot, from balancing a checkbook to how to open a bank account and apply for a credit card. The basics are covered.
I feel like I value money a lot more now that I know how hard you have to work for it, because I've been in that position. I work very hard. I have multiple jobs at one time. Right now I have 3. I babysit for 2 adults, one being a teacher in the high school. I work for a Mary Kay distributor. I'm her assistant. I work 6 hours a week for her, and I work at the diabetes center 1 day a week. So I definitely know how it feels to have money and then what it is to spend it and then have no money. So I definitely value money more.
Teachers believe the class is also helping bridge the information gap in homes. In part of Champlain College's research, it found that finance is not talked about in most homes. And if it is, the information isn't always the best.
Some of the assignments are to go home and interview your parents. What did they learn about financial literacy? Interview their grandparents. What have they sat down and taught with them? Do they ever sit down with their parents and pay the bills? Do they know what bills are coming in? And we put it into perspective. What is a cost for electricity right now? What is a car payment right now? How high is it? We actually have them set up their whole budget, set all that up, and it's really a big open window.
Next week on Access, we'll take a closer look at how the class operates, what the students are learning, and the tools the teachers are using.